Who are the coolest dudes on the planet?
United States veterans.
What's the coolest sport on the planet?
Pro wrestling.
And what would be the coolest podcast on the planet? That would be this one.
U.S. military vets talking pro wrestling.
This is the No Shave Man Cave. Two badass disabled vets sharing their love of pro wrestling, giving you their perspective as fans, talking about current events and matches, history of titles, and who knows what else. Let's do it.
Welcome to the No Shave Men Cave. Now your hosts, Ellie Jair and Jade Tilly.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, wrestling fans and sports entertainment fans, welcome to the No Shave Man Cave. I'm Ellie Jair.
I am Jade Tilly.
So,
A little bit of news.
what do you
today.
want to talk about? My guy! Woo! I am such a Cody junkie, and I wish he would come on NXT tonight and come out.
That'd be a huge pop for NXT.
Because so they have this antique setting, the way they have it all set up, and they could have the microphone come down, and it would just seem like Madison Square Garden. Cody would come out, and then out comes Jade Cargill, whatever they're going to call her, and then Brandy could come out and go, I don't know who the hell said that tonight was open mic night. Oh, so man, JT, J Tilly, the J to the T, dude, wrestling is really starting to pop. And I just got to know, how is your AEW brain handling AEW slowly becoming sports entertainment?
See, I was on that route until recently. Like, I thought this week actually even going back to last week, Dynamite to Collision, to Dynamite and to Collision again. Like, I feel like this is the AEW that I'm used to seeing. Like, the little dovetail booking of things and the putting matches together. And I just thought, like, all right, they're getting away from some of the sports entertainery stuff. Not that there's not all there, like Bullet Club Gold and all their shenanigans is very sports entertaining, but there's entertainment, but they're still doing the really good in-depth storytelling, like, Adam Cole and that whole situation. The next stuff with Samoa Joe and Roderick Strong.
Oh man. Yeah.
You're getting, there's still so many other like threads of stories. The Chris Jericho now teaming with Kenny Omega to take on Takeshita and his crew. You have the Elite, the Hung Bucks winning Ring of Honor 6-man titles. So they're doing all this stuff. And I don't think there's nothing to the Ring of Honor getting big stars right now. I'm very curious if with this television deal talks and everything, we're not going to see Ring of Honor on TV somewhere, because you just gave the Young Bucks and Adam Page the 6-man titles. So 3 of your biggest stars now have Ring of Honor titles. Kenny Omega is now your Ring of Honor champion. Athena is just doing amazing things. Wouldn't be surprised if this new era they're talking about coming out after Wrestle Dream isn't going to be the max deal with live streaming Ring of Honor on it or something to that effect.
Yeah.
Because it definitely, like, it seems a little, what's going on here? So I'm excited about AEW. I'm a little sad Jade left, but I think she will do better in WWE right now, because I think she fits WWE. She's got that over-the-top star power. She's green, so getting her through NXT, if that's where she shows up, which I personally think she'll show up main roster. But
wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think she'll go right to the main roster. Even though she's a performance center today, is the rumors. I just see her going straight to main roster. I don't see a couple reasons. One, it's a huge get for WWE. So it's a huge, we just stole their went 60-0 title holder. We just got her in WWE, and no offense to NXT, they're not the highest viewed show. Why not push her right out on SmackDown, and have her work, have her show up and take on Io Sky or right in the title picture, I think. Yeah, I think you do. And if they feel she's too green, you start doing vignettes for her or have her pop up live and build into the storyline that, well, I hear the best of the best is down in NXT right now, that being Becky Lynch. I'm going to go down and make a name for myself there. But I think your first pop, your first showing of her needs to be on either SmackDown or Raw. Because one, it's a big FU to AEW. Like, we just stole your biggest, biggest champion women's star. Ha ha ha. Well,
Wow.
not biggest. They didn't get Britt Baker, but
Yeah.
we stole
Yeah.
we stole Jade Cargill, who is a
Wow.
really well known, and I just think that would be a waste of a pop if you have her on NXT. Personally.
So I wholeheartedly agree with, you bust out your shiniest, newest toy. But then at the same time, you're like, well, there's nights where NXT is hitting almost 1 million views, and that's when the main roster folks are there. Well, you could say that the NXT folks, the boys and girls down there, oh, we were doing just fine without you. Yeah, you were getting 600,000-700,000 votes. It doesn't matter to them. They're making development money either way. But you bring Jade Cargill out and have her start a feud. Maybe Natalya stays down at NXT for a little while, or Tegan Knox stays down at NXT for a little while. That would be a fun program, and that would get people watching NXT. But at the same time, like you said, man, like, you roll Jade Cargill out, whether it's Monday night or Friday night. And I almost think Friday night would be a bigger slap in the face, because it'd be the night before Collision,
And it's
which
the
would
night of
generally be
Rampage.
the right, yeah.
Yep.
And that would be a cacao. So good say by you, sir.
Yeah, it's another big get. Like, Cody was huge, and I think Jade's pretty good. The opposite side of that is, I'm sure there's going to be some big names going to AEW. The flip side of it here eventually. All rumors and indications are Adam Copeland could be showing up to possibly as early as Wrestle Dream and get involved in the 2 out of 3 falls match with Darby Allin and Christian. So that would be a huge steal for AEW if they could pull that off. But there's going to be somebody, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, like some of these people's, Becky Lynch, like some of their contracts are coming up. And I think 2024 is what Fightful is reporting. And who knows? Tony Khan might just go, all right, here's how much you making there? Here's $1 million more. Come over here. Can you imagine Becky Lynch popping up in AEW? Especially if they get Mercedes Moné in there with her. And now you've got Becky and Mercedes, who could join the Outcast if you want to put them with Saraya and Ruby Soho. And now you've got 4 ex-WWE people just causing havoc.
Wow.
And there's just some dream matches I think Becky Lynch would be involved in. Becky and Chris Statlander, Becky and Tony Storm. We never got to see that.
Yeah, never got to see. And we never got to see, obviously, the character that Tony Storm is now.
Oh, it's so good.
And they only scratched the surface on her in-ring work. If you watch her now, that would be, plus once, Thunder Rosa is back, once Hater is back, just like, yep. Oh, man. So that's, but yeah, that's good stuff. I think WWE, with their house shows, with their live shows, and their Mondays and Fridays, and now with their new deal, there's all kinds of stuff with this deal too. And, USA is going to get Friday Night SmackDown back. And you're thinking, oh man, that's awesome. Everybody's under one happy roof. Not so fast. So that means, what I'm thinking is, okay, cool. I'll just set it and forget it. On Mondays and Fridays, Monday, Tuesday, and Friday, I'm just going to record off of USA. But Monday Night Raw and NXT are rumored to be on the move off of the USA network.
Oh.
And where it looks like right now where they're going to land is on Amazon Prime.
Wow.
So streaming service and all this other stuff. So you're going to have, the deal with Hulu is going away. WWE basically had like a 1-day tape delay deal with Hulu. So that's going away. Monday and Tuesday are getting off of USA and going to a possible streaming service. There is still a chance that they stay with the USA. It's not Paramount. The USA family. But yeah, and just the money that's being thrown around, and you're seeing stars being made. Jey Uso, never did I think he would be able to pump a crowd like he's doing right now. when his new entrance music, everything hits, he's going face to face with John Cena, with Cody Rhodes. He's already done a lot of stuff with Sammy and Kevin, but it was always as part of the bloodline, not the guy. And dude, they're doing a lot of really good things on Mondays. Friday, you're starting to hear and see signs that Roman Reigns is going to be back. And what is that going to look like with him being back? Who's going to be the next challenger, to go after the title? It's a lot of fun. And, I don't know how you felt about the show for Monday. I really enjoyed it.
Yep. I thought it was really good.
It felt like some really good business was done. I'm really interested in what they're going to do with Nia Jax.
I did not like the fact that she squashed Zoe Stark that way, because I thought we were getting ready for a big push with her and Shayna Baszler and all this other stuff, and they get Nia Jax back and they're like, all right, we're just going to squash everybody. I didn't like that at all. I thought that was poor.
Totally agree.
I understand what they're trying to do. Hey, she's this big monster heel. Okay, feed her anybody, but the people that we keep hearing are getting the push. Like, talk about Zoe Starks is in that program with Trish, and then she looked like she was on like this trajectory, and now you just squashed her to Nia Jax. I mean, like, come on. I would have rather seen her out there. No offense to Tegan Nox, but like Tegan Nox could have taken that loss. Or I'm trying to think of the tag team that came up, Fire and Desire or whatever their names were. Like, either one of them. Like, you could have put any of these NXT people who aren't really showing up on the main roster, even though they got drafted, put them in their first squash match. I was really disappointed in that.
Or not even book her for a match. They just catch her backstage. Like, she comes walking out with her suitcase and she just starts, smashing everyone in the hall. And then she could go face to face. Maybe she goes face to face with Zoe Stark and, some words are exchanged, or if she goes face to face with Shayna Baszler or, something. She gets into the ring. You hate to do it to Natalya, but she's Teflon. She's a Hall of Famer. Like you said, Tegan Nox, Mrs. Gargano there, the Pixie.
Chelsea Green.
Yeah. Yeah. And that, Chelsea Green, that would be a good story because there's connection there. And, you're a tag team. They call you a champion, blah, blah, blah. Now she can get into a program with Piper Niven. And, that could be a good story. But I totally agree. I think it's not quite 50-50 booking, but it's just about like taking all of the air out of her sails when it felt like like you said, that they were going to send her to the moon. And kind of a bummer because that program she had with a Hall of Famer, a future Hall of Famer, and her, I thought it was strong. And I liked what they were doing with her since they brought her up to the main roster. And then,
So I got one for you as a Cody fan. Do you think this spinoff into the Judgment Day stuff is because The Rock came back and he's not going to have his match at WrestleMania? So they're building more of a Cody versus Judgment Day? Because all indications were he was going to flip over to SmackDown and finish his story. But then poof, The Rock shows up. And now The Rock's out there talking about how he's okay with doing WrestleMania and all this other stuff. What do you think? Do you think this was a planned run for him to do with the Judgment Day and lead into something? Or do you think this was hey, we know we said we were going to give you Roman at WrestleMania, but we're going to push that? And I'm just curious what you read into it.
Yeah, so as a Cody fan, yes, it makes me batshit crazy. And I think deep down in my Cody soul, there could be a chance for a real shitty thing to happen to him. But then on the other side, I'm like, well, wait a minute. This is just a target of opportunity because Hollywood is shut down right now. And The Rock wants to keep his brand in the focus. So he's going on all these shows and he's now the clickbait. And, I don't know if this is to stir up something with Roman coming out and saying, hey, you don't even know I was the one who turned it off, or one of the elders comes out, Rikishi comes out, whatever. And, but for Roman to break the record, Cody's got to win it at SummerSlam.
Okay.
So Cody will go into a program and main event night one, or maybe he's the opening show on the opening match on night two. And
we'll
then
be there
SummerSlam
live to find out. Just saying.
What's that?
We'll be there live to see it. Just saying.
Oh, oh man, I can't wait. Yeah, so I think he'll either I don't think he'll main event night one. I hope that's either a tag team or one of the women's championship matches. I think that'd be awesome. So, but yeah, I think he'll overcome another hurdle at WrestleMania. Maybe it's Solo Sikoa, or maybe it's something that we're not seeing right now. And then
Maybe it's Jimmy. Maybe this
Yeah,
whole time
maybe.
Jimmy's playing a big long game, and he really is still part of Roman, and or who knows? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd be curious.
But yeah, it definitely threw me for a loop, especially when he comes on and he's doing all these media blitzes, and Roman or The Rock isn't going to say something by accident like, "Oops, I let it slip."
Yeah.
I don't know what his payday would be, but it wouldn't be anything many people will see in their lifetime. So no, I'm super excited to see what's going to happen. I wouldn't mind seeing The Rock live. Especially if he's in the main event and he's looking at the lights at the end, that would make Roman king shit of the mountain. And then when Cody beats him, it would make him more king shit of the mountain. So kingier.
So
I don't know.
Maybe good news, bad news, but latest is there is a tentative deal to end the strike. So could be The Rock goes, oh, never mind, guys. I'm going back to movies.
The Rock says, I gotta go back. I'm gonna make.
The Rock says I'm gonna go make $36 million instead of 2 or whatever.
I've got this $500 million franchise that I've just signed on with. Don't mind me.
Yeah.
But
I'm joining the Star Wars universe. I'll see you later.
Yeah, there you go. So no, that's good. I think that would do a couple of things. It might speed up John Cena, whatever story he's in. I was hoping there was going to be something with LA Knight. Shout out to La Knight. Hope he's feeling better. Popped for COVID.
He's another one whose contract is coming up.
Yep. And they're a little bit apart on some cash.
Oh, now that would be a huge steal if WWE or if AEW grabbed him. That would be like grabbing. Yeah, that would be good. That'd be a top star right there.
So we're talking. So this is. Do you think it does anything for AEW if they sign a couple of the wrestlers that the WWE let go?
So the only ones that, and I think we might have talked about this earlier. So just recently let go of Dolph Ziggler and Shelton Benjamin, a couple other people. Those two to me stuck out as people I'd like to see to go AEW. Mainly Dolph, because I'd like to see him work with his brother, and I think
that would be cool.
That would be a cool, like another brother tag team you could build up to take on the Bucks or FTR. Like I think that would be fun, and I think Ziggler was very underused in WWE, and I think he would be able to come out and do his stuff. And then Shelton Benjamin, yes, for in-ring stuff, but more for the producer role. Because a lot of those really good matches that I fell in love with, like watching on Raw, like you go back and you see that he was the producer on some of them. And a matter of fact, I think he was the producer on the Cody Chad Gable match. So I think he produces a lot of Chad Gable matches. I'll have to go verify that. So for our fans out there, I'm not 100% sure. But I'm pretty sure he's one of the main producers for those Chad Gables matches, which, yes, please, like, give me more of those. So I would like to see him. Now, if he wants to get in the ring, I wouldn't be mad to see him in Will Ospreay or him in, Kenny Omega or him in Danielson. Like, there's some really good matches he could do. But I'd like to see him more in a producer role. But I really would like to see Dolph and his brother just goofing off and, having a little fun tag team.
That'd be cool. Yeah, just imagine what that four-way dance would be with the Hardys. You'd have
Edge and Christian.
The Edge and Christian would come out. That would be awesome. Obviously, you'd have to have the Guns in there, just for almost the comic relief of what Colton's got going. Or is it Austin? Jay White was like, and Austin.
Yeah.
Everybody else got these elaborate names, and they're like,
yeah, that was pretty
rock
good.
Hard, juiced up, juice, and then Austin, like, damn.
And it almost like, I don't even know if that was on purpose, because it almost looked like he legit forgot what he was going to call him, because whatever he called, and Austin. I was like, did he forget his line? But whatever, I loved it.
And then he was just like, yeah, like he was upset. So he played it off really good too. And we were fortunate to meet the Guns before they were even really the Guns, and just very jovial. Looks, like they're happy to be there. They're taking it all in, and they've been around the business their whole life. So I think they're ingrained in it. So a lot of the ad libbing was pretty good. So that would be a fun 4-way. Bucks, Hardys, Guns, Edge, and Christian. And man, woo!
So
Yowza.
another free agent coming up here soon is some that, if you don't watch the two big ones, you don't really know, but I think would make a big impact wherever he went, and that's Sammy Callahan. He's supposedly leaving Impact
Mm,
very soon, apparently. Free agent, like within the next few months. And he's not their
hmm.
current title holder, but he's been their title holder, and he's a guy that can
Yeah.
get going in the ring. Like, I'd like to see some Moxley, Sammy Callahan
Oh, geez. Yeah.
storylines, and like there's some stuff he could do. So I'd be curious. You're more of a TNA Impact guy. Like, where do you think maybe he might go, or
Yeah.
where would he fit in? I guess.
Yeah, he would really fit in the NXT brand just
Okay.
because of the storytelling, and then his wife is also a wrestler, so that would be another aspect, and they could sort of play off of each other a little bit. But I don't know that he would want to go down to NXT when you consider he was in one of the most like memorable storylines with Tessa Blanchard, where Tessa Blanchard went on to become the first world champion of a wrestling organization, women world champion, and that says something. I think he would do really well in MLW. I think that would be really really cool. He wouldn't get the reach that he's getting now, but MLW is supposed to be working on their TV deal with WWE coming off of Hulu. That may open another opportunity for them to get a really nice TV deal. So him leaving Impact, I mean, he's not quite AJ Styles homegrown, but he's been there a minute. So I think he would do really well in Ring of Honor. He could have some really fun matches with all the wrestlers on that roster.
Ooh, can you imagine him and
And
Eddie Kingston in a
yeah,
program? Him and Shibata.
Shibata would be
That would be some good
yeah,
stuff.
that'd be a lot of fun. There are a couple other contracts on Impact. Impact is trying to keep everyone right now, and NWA just basically hit the reset. So everyone they have, whether they're a champion or they're in a storyline, they're all pretty locked down and not going anywhere. So I don't think Eddie Kingston or not Eddie Kingston. Sorry, who were we just talking about?
Sammy Callahan. He made me
Sammy
forget
Callahan. I don't know why I was thinking Eddie.
because I said he would be a good match with Eddie Kingston. So
Yeah, I don't think Sammy would be good at NWA just because he's a little more theatrical. So
see, I see him going to one of the big two or staying at Impact personally because Impact's like number 3, a distant number 3, but they're number 3. And like you just said, like going to MLW or even NXT would almost feel like a step back. And I think for him to forward his career and do more if he wanted to, again, I don't know the guy, I haven't talked to him, but I would assume maybe he'll do the Moxley thing and go do the independent runs for a while and pop up in AEW every once in a while. But I mean, AEW's kind of seems to be tightening that a little bit because Eddie Kingston just dropped out of. He said he won't be doing independent bookings anymore. Moxley hasn't done his well. I mean, he's injured right now, but although all accounts are he's cleared to wrestle again. So the injury
that's
that we all
so
feared
great to hear.
on Wednesday looks like okay, it sucked, but maybe not as bad as we thought, and everybody kind of went to instantly panicking. It was still good on him to make the call in the moment to change the title because he didn't know. So I thought that was
Yeah,
that was pretty good. So glad he's back. From what I understand, the Adam Cole injury is a little more worrisome.
yeah.
So there's some concern, is what some of the things that I've heard have come out is there's concern for his knee. Although he's still booked for the match on Wrestle Dream on Sunday, so maybe it's a work. I don't know. That's not a work. He hurt himself. Like I saw it as soon as he jumped, but maybe it's not as bad as we think. We'll see. Maybe they'll write it in a storyline on tomorrow night, and we'll see something on Dynamite. But cool. Yeah, I was curious about what you thought about Sammy Callahan because, like I said, you're a bigger TNA guy, so wanted to get your opinion on that one. And then the Jade Cargo, man, I can't wait. I hope she shows up Friday. Like, I hope she shows up Friday. And then we were talking about network moves and everything. And with SmackDown coming off of Fox, I'm wondering if Tony Khan doesn't slip in and go, "Hey Fox, do you still want some wrestling? Like, you want to put us our Rampage show? Oh, by the way, it's going to be Ring of Honor Rampage, and it'll be on, Fox at the same time SmackDown was on or something, or because that'd be a way one for him to show like, hey guys, the reason they get such good ratings is it's on a network television. I'm also curious what's going to happen to SmackDown ratings when they go to USA. So it won't be on just a regular antenna channeled TV you
Oh,
get.
yeah.
It'll be on. You technically have to pay extra to get USA. Although I don't know how many people in the country, like I don't know all the statistics, how many people in the country have basic cable and don't, but it's something that crossed my mind for sure.
Yeah, that's a good one. We talk about Fox, or you talked about Fox and what they will and won't get, and who's being considered and all that. Well, Fox wants to go to a more sports dominated weekend, so it could be where they're going to make a move to get more college games. There's a couple of college games played on Fridays, but most of them are on Saturday. But yeah, I mean, from what I guess Fox wasn't super happy with the 2 billion as far as the return and advertising and everything.
Oh darn.
Yeah, darn, 2 billion. All right, thanks for the 2 billion. We'll move on. And I think the deal that they ended up getting was either 1.4 or 1.7 billion. On top, McMahon just walked away with 9 billion, and there's all kinds of rumors that he may be forced to step down or away.
Yeah, I saw that article in Forbes. Yeah, Forbes reported that TKO, I guess, when the merger officially happened and they got to see the books, I guess, and saw all the more of the behind the scenes and what we didn't get announced, makes you go, and they went, oh, this could be a problem.
Yeah.
You think you'd have looked at that before you signed a merger.
A little bit of a liability, they
Yep.
say.
Yep, a little bit of a liability. So.
I could have told you that. And damn, the president of UFC, I mean, not that he's without fault and stuff, but I mean, he knows everybody, and you would have thought he would have gotten wind and looked at his boss and gone, boss, listen, and they look over at him and go, hey man, we're gonna make you the president of something. Oh yeah, I've always wanted to be president.
Yep, never mind, I'm good.
So
yeah, hire
I'm
McMahon.
good. Hey, yeah, and he's sitting over here. Oh, Dana White's. He's sitting there. That shit doesn't matter to me. I believe that too. Like he could care less. He's still gonna be him. He's still gonna do him. But add a couple of zeros onto his already pretty cool salary. Not that he's not deserving, because UFC is just a monster. And so is the WWE. And if they can figure out a way to get those two organizations to live symbiotically, watch out.
Yeah, for sure. Talk about bringing the real sports feel to wrestling, which is what AEW promised. But now WWE could actually do that if they use some of the UFC. And I think I read somewhere that the UFC fighters now could have an option when they're done fighting and retiring the UFC to go easily into WWE as like part of their contract. So I'm like, that's pretty cool. But I mean, it's wrestling, so there's rumors and everybody knows everything, and we're all getting worked or we're getting shoot. Like, who knows? It's all out there. Who knows what's going on? But there are things that you're like, oh, like I hadn't heard about the Amazon Prime thing until you mentioned it. I was like, really? So who knows if that's going to be something? I had heard something a while ago that Amazon Prime wanted to get involved in wrestling. And I remember when WWE was rumored for sale, it was Disney and Amazon were the two talking about it. So it would make sense if they, all right, well, we didn't get to buy you, but let's work on a streaming deal. So we got Thursday Night Football at Amazon. So why not put, Monday Night Raw on Amazon streaming? So that'd be cool. I would be down with that. Speaking of NFL, I mean, I want to say something. Go Dolphins. Putting up a 70 points on old Broncos. I watched that game, and I watched it from beginning to end because I'm a Dolphin fan, if you couldn't tell.
Yeah.
And absolutely, just was smiling. And I'm so torn on the last play where he could have kicked the 3 points and gotten the all-time record. And I was like, but I understand, because Mike McDaniel was like, I don't want to run the score up. And he didn't. Like, if you look at some of the scores after they got a big lead, they were running plays. What do you want the guy to do? Not to run in for the end zone? Like, especially a rookie when this is his first time being able to play. He got 2 rushing touchdowns and 2 receiving touchdowns, on his first NFL appearance. Like, hello, 726 yards. Sorry, I just went on a tangent.
Yeah, and to our G-Men faithful fans out there, you got to trust the process. And I started this season saying, hey, I just want to go 500. And, they just gave Danny Dimes all this money. Yeah, but they didn't give anyone else any money. They didn't bring all these big stars in. And then you turn around and Saquon's hurt. So you're like, So maybe the O'Haras were right in not, footing the bill to just give Saquon a bunch of money. So hang in there. But yeah, oh man. So I think it's going to be San Fran and Miami in the Super Bowl. Whew.
Ooh, what a show
Man.
that'll be.
I was hoping for the
Man.
Bills, but it does not look like it.
Yeah, I don't think the Bills are going to. I think we'll get the Bills. We got the Bills this weekend, so it'll be a test. And if we put up 48 points on the Bills, man, I just don't see that they're stopping this Miami Dolphins team. And, I think next week, so we got the Bills this week, and I think next week we got your Giants. So I'm a little terrified for you because by all accounts, Denver's a little better than New York right now.
Oh my God.
Maybe we'll break the record that game.
Freaking Denver, dude. Oh man. One of my buddies, Bobby. Hey man, Bobby, if you're out there, you're listening, thoughts and prayers out to the Mile High Faithfully Strong.
Yeah, I was surprised we didn't hear something about Sean Payton on the hot seat after that. I mean, you lost by 50 points, man. That's rough.
After he was talking smack too about Hackett and how Hackett ran the team, or didn't run the team, and Hackett never got beat by 70 points, so there's that. Man.
So I know we usually talk wrestling, but I wonder. I saw your Giants hat and I saw my Dolphin hat, and I'm like, we're going against each other here in a couple of weeks.
It won't be long, yeah. But no, it's good to see. Good to see Tua playing well, looks healthy.
Looks like the best quarterback in the NFL.
Man, he's definitely up there. If it's not comeback player of the year, the AFC offensive player of the year, or I don't know if he'll get enough credit to be the MVP, but he's definitely playing like a boss. So damn.
Yeah, I think there'll be and we'll see how the year progresses. But if they keep playing like they are, there's going to be some conversation between him, Hill, and A-Chain, our rookie, for MVP, I think, personally. And I think if you're not talking about Coach McDaniels as coach of the year, yeah. But we'll see. It's too early. I'm not going to get ahead of myself. We're only 3-0. We started last year 3-0, and then tragedy happened in the Buffalo game last year. So we're gonna take it easy and be calm. But I will say that out of the 3 games, he's only been sacked once and only been hit 4 times. So offensive line is doing their job. But we pivoted off of wrestling there a little bit. That's all right. We're allowed to do that. It's our show.
Yeah.
Come at me, bro.
I mean, so we've unfortunately had some of our superstars from the WWE get released, and we've, discussed some of them. We've talked about the changes in the WWE, good, bad, or indifferent. Triple H is no longer considered a VP, but he's still in charge of creative. He's still got a $5 million check once the buyout went through. A lot of really good stuff going on with the WWE, and it feels like their brand is growing and evolving and catching a lot of new eyes. And AEW is sustaining and not like growing, and I really hope they get it figured out and they grow new fans every day, like what the big juggernaut WWE is doing. And I don't want AEW to go out and try and become the WWE, because they were advertised as like the opposite of that. So, Rampage, the viewing is whatever it is. Collision, the viewing and the buy rate, and, house shows, tickets are whatever they are. I really hope with Bryan Danielson as head of creative for Collision, and some of the wrestlers that are currently on the AEW roster, if they could become more of a household name, that would definitely help their cause. Because you don't want to go and make your name by bringing in everyone that the WWE let go. And yes, Jericho is a WWE guy, but he is the face of AEW, and he would never tell anyone anything different. He's very, very proud of the championships that he's won. One Ring of Honor championship, and won AEW World Championship, and just phenomenal, with names like Jericho, MJF, Moxley, Eddie Kingston, just to carry that flag. I really hope that they can, keep their, what's the right word? I just want them to keep their stature as,
Not
a
become
top.
WCW and start
Right.
pulling
Yeah,
in.
that's a good way to put it.
Oh,
Yes.
$1
Yeah.
Million Man's Free, we got him. Oh, Rick Rude, we
Yep.
got him. Not pull in everybody that leaves because that's what WCW did, and I think that's what led, especially when the politics all hit the back. And I will say the one thing about AEW is the politics game from outside looking in started to become an issue, especially with the good old Phil there. And I think it got to the point where Con was like, "That's enough." And I don't know if things changed in the back or not, but it feels like it. Like
It
you're not
does.
hearing
Yeah.
stories about people getting in fights backstage. We're not hearing, like, it just seems to have quieted down a little bit, and the product on TV seems to be showing that. So they keep that momentum going. I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's
I think,
successful.
yeah.
It's a successful product. It's not like everybody's like, oh, they suck. But if it wasn't successful, they wouldn't be looking at a $2 billion deal for the next TV thing. They wouldn't be talking to Max. They wouldn't be partnering up with New Japan to do more pay-per-views. Like, they're successful. It's just they're not WWE successful, which WWE's been around for 40-something years. Of course they're not. AEW's been around 4. So they've got 10 times as long on them to grow that fan base. And even to this day, people go, yeah. I was talking about Thunder Rosa. Oh, is she the WWE champion? I'm like, no, AEW, it's a different brand. Oh, okay. But like, my mom didn't know the difference. And it's like, no, it's a different brand, but they're just as good. Like, they're worth watching. So, it'll take them time, but I think they'll get there.
Yeah, I definitely hope they will. And you bring up that, I mean, that's such a strong point, 60 years and 6 or 5. And in 60 years, WWE never did what AEW has done with their show All In. And just the alternative, and there's nothing wrong with 1 million views on a TV show. That's fantastic. Why? And, here I am with my WWE brain. Oh, yeah. So yeah, I mean, as fans, we should be elated that we have another product that we can watch and consume wrestling a different way. Just like, you're going to eat steak cooked one way, or you're going to have chicken barbecued. Maybe you're going to have it fried. Maybe you're going to have it, as a burger or whatever. It's still chicken. It's still steak. It's still a burger, whatever. You're just eating it a little bit different, and it's freaking awesome, especially like you're saying now, when the last couple of weeks the shows are progressively getting better. And that show at Arthur Ashe, the feel of it, the product, just, it was awesome. The crowd, they were feeling it, and that, yeah, I thought it was really cool. I love that new set.
Wrestle Dream, man. Wrestle Dream is a card. We'll talk about it Thursday because we'll get more into like some AEW specific chat because it'll be after. Well, I don't know. This one's been a mix anyway. I kind of like these format of our shows where we talk everything wrestling, but we'll save something for Thursday because I definitely want to talk about the Wrestle Dream card because what a card that's shaping up to be. There's some matches on there that have potential to be match of the year. Before we wrap this one up, though, I do want to talk about a match that I think could be in my top 10 matches of the year that I never in my life thought I would say. But Dominic Mysterio and Dragon Lee. What the F, man? Holy crap. I watched that match and I was just like, is Dragon Lee this good or is Dominic improved this much? Because that was fantastic. And I wanted to talk about when we were talking about Raw a little bit earlier and I just forgot until just now, but holy cow. Like Dragon Lee went out there like, JR used to see maximize your minutes. Boy, he went out there and maximized his minutes and almost to the point where I don't think Dom had a choice. Like, I think some of those kicks and flips, like he was like, no, you're going to sell this. Like, I'm going to throw you from the top to the bottom on the floor and it's going to hurt if you don't like bounce it right.
Right.
Because, that match was like go, 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 go. Like, not to compare and contrast, but it felt like an AEW match at some parts. I'm like, this is like, a Commander Vikingo match. It was just like, man, it's really good. And I never thought I'd say that about a Dominic Mysterio match at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be a mixture of Dom having more reps. Mommy hasn't been around as much, so he's had to get more. He's had to be in the ring a little bit more. And, he's showing up 3 nights a week. So it's the reps, the character work where he can't even get a word out edgewise. I freaking love that now. And but yeah, his ring work, he's watched his dad and everybody, Eddie, his whole entire life. So I think some of that was like natural. But like you said, I mean, over the last month and a half, 2 months, he's gotten significantly better. And Dragon Lee being able to carry or raise Dom's game, that's a tribute to both of them. And that's just a sample of the product that we're seeing on NXT. Tiffany Stratton, is doing some great stuff. What still blows my mind, Ali was doing some really good stuff down at NXT. He wanted to be released, so it sort of worked out. Corbin really doing some good stuff on top of all of the phenomenal young talent that is down there. But yeah, it's awesome when we can get WWE level matches out of NXT on the big stage instead of in the performance center in front of 800 people or whatever. I'm super happy for him.
Yep, I just wanted to at least bring that up before we left because I don't want people to think I don't like talking about WWE, but I really enjoyed that match. Thought it was great, so I wanted to make sure I shouted it out because it's not often I get to say that about WWE matches. So. There are actually a couple on this one. I thought the Bronson Reed match was really good. I thought the Ciampa Ludwig Kaiser match was good, and I like the storyline they're doing with Imperium. So very good Raw. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I know we went off on some other tangents tonight, but there was definitely some things on Raw that I was impressed with this Raw.
Good.
So really, really liked it.
So the second show that McMahon wasn't the sole owner of WWE. Like, what?
Yeah, it's crazy.
So
crazy. Well, hopefully, like I enjoyed Raw, you guys enjoyed listening to us. Please like shy. That's easy for me to say.
Be shy.
Subscribe, and share around to your buddies on YouTube and Rumble. We go live every Tuesday and Thursday. Saturday, we go sometimes live on the Fantasy Sports Core when we can. Sometimes life gets in the way. Sometimes we get preempted. But Fantasy Sports Core, shout out to those guys for supporting us. They were one of our first channels that they let us get on. So we appreciate the partnership there and look forward to doing this Saturday show where we recap everything in the week and not just kind of midweek, beginning week, that kind of stuff. So again, like, share, subscribe on YouTube and Rumble. Follow our podcast, No Shave Man Cave, wherever you listen to your podcast at. Newsflash, Google Podcast is going away. So you'll have to now get us on Google Music. But yeah, Google Podcast is gone. It's going to Google Music. Just in case I use Google Podcasts. So that's why I was like, oh. But yeah. So anywhere you get your podcast from, again, leave us a 5-star review on the podcast. Let us know you enjoy us and are listening. Give us some feedback. We like the feedback. We can only grow and adjust with it. I think I covered it all. Oh, if you want to reach out to us, No Shave Man Cave at gmail.com. We're also on all your socials, No Shave Man Cave. Now I've covered it all. Now it's your turn to take us out.
Yeah, buddy. Bump and feed. Yes, sir. Hey, great show. Thank you so much for checking us out. To all our brothers and sisters at arms, stay safe. Keep doing what you're doing. We love you. We're super proud of you. Now hurry up, get your ass home. And until next time, my friends, my fam, thanks for checking us out. Stay safe. Look out for yourselves. Look out for one another. And we'll see you on the floor.
You've been listening to the No Shave Man Cave.
If it's pro wrestling, we're talking about it. Unless we see something shiny and wander off into the woods. If you hang around long enough, we'll eventually come back. We hope you've enjoyed the show. Fire off your comments and be sure to leave us a 5-star rating, and we'll be back soon. But in the meantime, hit us up on Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at No Shave Men Cave. Y'all be cool, and we'll see you next time on the floor.